Monday, April 25th, 2022. It is currently 10 o'clock p.m., and this won't be like most recordings that I usually do, but I decided that I'd try something a little different tonight. I'm sure some of you out there are curious why I have a pure hatred towards furries, unlike most people you'll see on the streets who simply disagree with them. Whether that's religion or just common sense, my hatred towards them is a little more unnatural than others. So I thought I should explain my reasoning, I suppose. So, I guess if we really wanted to go back, we'd go back to... yes, my school days. Upper elementary to middle school. You see, where I live is not really like most places. It's in the middle of nowhere. Not many people around, I can tell you that much. I can't really say the same for my comrades in Grand Rapids, but for a lot of us around here, it's rather empty, I suppose. Now, I live in a place called Leroy, Michigan, and I just recently moved to a school. It's known for being not the greatest of schools, that's for sure. It was called Pine River. It still stands to this day, surprisingly, for how terrible it is. Anyways, I just moved to this school. 5th grade, I think, was the grade I started going there. Made some friends along the way. That year was not gonna lie, it was pretty crappy, but things got better along the way. 6th grade, I had a friend, and for reasonings I can't really mention her name, but I'm sure she still wants me dead. She came to me and said, "Hey, guess what?" And she showed me these little furry paws. I asked what were those. She simply stated, "I'm a furry. I got these online and I thought they were cool, and at the time I had no idea what it was. And I certainly had no idea what the heck it was associated with. So since she was my friend, I just shrugged my shoulders and said, "Oh, cool." But what I didn't know is she wasn't the only one. It spread like a plague. I didn't know if it was bad at the time, but it seemed like everyone else was doing it. So I just kind of shrugged my shoulders to it, like usual. I didn't necessarily join them, but I didn't really fight against them either. And at the time, there wasn't an anti-furry republic or an anti-furry union or an anti-furry government even. Just people who didn't really like them and thought they were weird, that's all. Now anyways, the current friend I was talking about earlier who got the fur paws had other friends, and they also liked this furry things, and I was rather close with her at the time, and she thought I should join in. And I didn't know what I was doing. I shouldn't have. I guess I joined them for a while, you could say. No, believe me, I didn't try on any of those fursuits. Even back then I thought they were very unsanitary. But I say this with shame. I joined them. I hung out with them and I supported their cause. Until it was too late. Once I realized what they actually were, of course I took a step back, but that was until a little later. Skip forward to the end of 6th grade. Now, going online, I found my normal things, and, well, eventually, I wanted to look more into this furry crap, and, seen what it actually was, seen what it really was. I was horrified. It was an abomination. It was unnecessarily repulsive to the human eye. It didn't comply with society. But people were starting to accept it. More and more and more. And it grew, and it spread. Like a disease, and it was hard to watch, even. Watching it come and go from kid to kid. From adult to adult, ruining lives and tearing apart families for God knows why. And I did nothing. I watched the world burn around me. I did nothing that year. In 7th grade, I did nothing. But there was hope. I got really close with the one friend, with the fur paws. She eventually dropped the whole furry suit garbage, and even furries in general. So that was out of the way. The reason she wants me dead, that's a story for another day. But these furries spread to more than just her. Even when I got home, I couldn't escape it online. It infested everything like a plague. Now at the time, I just thought it was annoying, like PNG tubers. They're there, but you can avoid them. They're very cringe, but you can get past the cringe and just go somewhere else. It didn't infest everything like furries do now. Now here's what really, really made my blood boil. Not only what they did to fandoms like Sonic or FNAF, which really made me angry because I liked both of those before furries went and ruined it, but it was the attraction to animals that really dug under my skin. What kind of human being could have any sexual or romantic attraction to their pet dog? They don't deserve that. They don't deserve to be completely defiled and then have their pictures put out on the internet. They didn't deserve that. What did they do to you? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to go all that vegan teacher on you, but it just wasn't right. It's one thing. To have an animal as a pet is another thing to defile it. In truth, I'm in so much disgust right now. Just talking about it, I'm really out of words. So I decided to take a stand for myself. I united the strongest of my friends, allies, and even family members. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you see that I made a new symbol, the A.F.U symbol. You'll see underneath the original symbol for the AFR, the Anti-Furry Republic, there are some yellow dots. One of them represents myself, and the others represents my comrades. One of them was great inspiration for me. He happens to be subscribed, and he probably knows I'm talking about him. He's my cousin. Although, for privacy, I won't say his name. He's part of our Grand Rapids outpost, and he is a very intelligent young man. Now, he was a great inspiration for all of this. He hated them before even I did. And he's not that much older than I. But he caught on to their wickedness before even I got a hint of the disgusting nature that they really were involved in. His sister and my other cousin also support my cause. And she was one of the first members of my little group. Then you have two other siblings. Not relatives, but very close friends of mine from the other school I went to before Pine River. Privacy reasons, I won't say their name either. Nor will I really say any of my comrades' names. But they are also very close friends, and they are also fed up with all this garbage that has gone on in their school. One of my friends, who I actually happened to randomly bump into not too long ago, has also recently joined. She's very friendly, and has a passion for bringing down furries and painting the walls with their blood. Have to admire her work, actually. And together we make up the original circle in the A.F.U, or the Anti-Furry Union, that I established. That's how I rose into a sort of commanding position in my particular group. But that does not really make me their leader, just their founder, advisor, and supporter. But I am still really in no position to command an army. That position will go to one of them, who I'm not really sure. They all have great leading qualities. That is something that I'll have to leave up to the others. I think you have somewhat of a reasonable explanation now. So, I'm going to bed. Good night. And communication.